I'm Nicholas from JohnTeachesGuitar.com. Let's just jump right into this tune. I'm going to go section by section. So for each section, there's essentially going to be 3 different guitar parts, or at times none, like the times where it's just bass and drums. So let's talk about the very first chord we hear. That is a modified C with a G in the bass. But they're just playing first finger on 4-2, second finger on 6-3, and third finger on 5-3. So we're just getting those low 3 chords. That's going to hold for 2 measures, and then Rhiann's guitar is just going to be chugging along, down stroking 8th notes. And then it's going to slide up to 7. Back to 2. Up to 7. Back to 2. Up to 7. You get the idea. Back to 2. Let's take a look at the other guitar. After the initial first chord, Hester is going to come up here on the 8th fret with her first finger on the 6th string, and on the 10th fret with her second finger on the 5th string, doing a classic power chord. And we're going to do kind of a rock, a traditional rock. So she's hitting that first note, that first pair of notes twice, and then putting the pinky down on 12 on the 5th string. So the measure, it's going to repeat. And then she's dropping just straight down to the 5th and 4th string, exact same pattern. It just goes back and forth. So when she's here, that is essentially a C, and Rhiann's here. Next, let's take a look at Joshua's great riff right here in the very beginning. So we've got our 3rd finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret, bending up to that E note. And then we're going to go to our 1st finger, 2nd fret, 1st finger, 2nd string, 1st fret, 3rd finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. We're going to hit strings 2 and 3, lift off our 2nd finger, and then hit strings 1 and 2. So you've got the bends, and then the pull-offs. Now we're going to slide up to the 5th fret, 1st finger on 3, 5, 3rd finger on 2, 6. So it's like a D shape, but we're not playing the 1st string. And we're going to have 4 of that shape. And then we're going to go to 5, 5. So we've got 5, 6, and then 5, 5. We're going to have the bend again. Now we're going to have 2 of these pull-offs. And then another 5 notes, 4 on 5, 6, and then 5, 5. Next up, let's take a look at the pre-chorus. Rhiann's guitar is just going to continue doing the same thing. 1st finger on 4-2, a 3rd finger on 6-3, and 3rd finger on 6-3. We're going to take that shape and move it from 2 to 7, just like we did before. Just back and forth. Hester's guitar is going to continue to do the same thing as it was before. We've got this power chord on 8 and 10. It's just going to go back and forth. Let's take a look at Joshua. His guitar is going to be doing that every other measure. So we'll have a measure he'll be laying out, and then the second measure. Measure out. Another measure out. and then 2 measures out at the end. Next up, we've got the chorus. There's no guitar here from anyone, except for the bass. That's also a guitar. Next up, we have what I'm calling the post-chorus. Rianne's guitar is going to have first finger on 4-3, second and third finger on the 5th fret of 6 and 5. It's going to slide up to 7 and 8, first finger on 7, second and third finger on 8, then down to 2. For another measure, that's going to repeat. And then we have a little accent here where it's going to go up 1 measure, or 1 fret. Let's take a look at Hester's guitar in the post-chorus. We've got a slide on the 4th string from 5 to 7. 5 on the 3rd string. Does it one more time. And then 5-7 on the 4th string. Next, we've got a cool little melody. So 7, 9, 7, 5, and then 7, 5. Next, we got a little melody that starts from 7 to 7 to 9. So 7, 7 to 9, 7, 5, 5, 7, another 5, 7, and then that third note, and then 5, 7, 7, 9. Next up, let's take a look at Joshua's part in that post-chorus. We have got a D minor with an F in the bass. So you've got your D minor chord, but we're going to add an F in the bass. We're going to have that D minor with F in the bass. And then we're going to take that C with a G in the bass and take that all the way up to 7. And then back to 1. So D minor with F in the bass. First finger on 1-1, pinky on 2-3, second finger on 3-2, and third finger on 4-3. And then we're taking that shape up here, first finger on 2-6, second finger on 4-7, third and fourth finger on the 8th fret of 5 and 6. And then take that shape and slide it back to the first fret. That's going to repeat. Accent, slide up 1 fret. Alright, we're at the second verse. Let's take a look at Rianne's guitar, same as the first verse. Slide from 2 to 7. And just back and forth for the whole verse. Hester's guitar is going to be the same as it was in the first verse. We've got that power chord from 8 to 10. Just back and forth. Repeat that for the whole section. Joshua's guitar part is going to be that C with a G in the bass. Going to let it ring out for 2 measures, then we're going to slide that up to 6, just like in that section before. Back to C, back to 1, and then back to 6. And that's his part. We're into the second pre-chorus. Rianne's part is going to continue from the verse. We're going to take that shape going from 2 to 7. And it's just going to repeat until we get to the chorus. Joshua's part in the second pre-chorus is going to have a measure where he's laid out, and then on the 1 and, we're going to have that accent again from 5 and 6 to 5 and 5. a measure out, a measure back in, same, and then back again. We're into the second chorus. Rianne's part is going to do that pattern from 3, 5, 5 up to 7, then 2. One more time. And then it's going to slide up for that 3, 4, 3 times. Hester's got a great lead line in the second chorus. We've got so we've got first finger on the 3rd string, 12th fret, 3rd finger on the 14th fret of the 4th string, and it's going to start with the 4th string. So it's going to go 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, and then on the 4th string, 14, 12, repeat. And now this last time through, 14, 12, 14, 12, then it's going to slide on the 3rd string up to 16, back to 12 on the 3rd string, back to 14 on the 3rd string. Next we're going to have a little walk down. She's going to start on the 4th string, 14th fret. So we've got 14, then 12 on the 4th string, 15 on the 5th string, 12 on the 5th string, then 14 on the 4th string. Next we've got 12 on the 4th string, 15 on 5, 12 on 5, 10 on 5, 12 on 5, 10 on 4. Next we're going to leave here for a second. We've got so I've got 10 on the 4th string, 12 on the 5th string. And then 10, 10, 10 on the 4th string. 11, 10. I'm going to keep going on her part into the second post-chorus because it all ties together. So after the we're going to go down to 7. So we're going from 10 to 7 on the 4th string. Then 8, 7, then 10, 8, 7 on the 5th string. So that section right there. And then we're going to have an 8, 7. Repeats, and then down to 5. So we've got 7, 8, 10, 8, 5. So let's tie that whole riff together. So let's tie that whole section. So for Hester, let's tie those two sections together, and I'll do it slow. will be her section up into the bridge. Joshua's section in the second chorus is going to be like Rianne's earlier on, except for he's going to chug eighth notes. So we've got that minor chord shape, first finger on 4-3, third and fourth fingers on the 5th fret of 5 and 6, up to 7 with the major chord shape, first finger on 4-7, second and third finger on the 8th string, the 8th fret of 5 and 6, slide it down to 2. Two measures of that, we're going to repeat it. And then we've got that slide up right at the end with a rest before it. And that's his part. All right, we're into the next section, the second post-chorus. This is going to be before the bridge. We've got Rianne doing that familiar shape from 2. Sliding up 1 fret instead of going to 7. So 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat. It's going to do that little back and forth 3 times. Let's take a look at Hester's part. We already did. Let's take a look at Joshua's part. In the post-chorus, Joshua's doing the same thing as Rianne. Sounds big and beefy. And does it 3 times. Now once we get into the bridge where it really chills out, it's only going to be Joshua, and he is just going to be playing this minor chord shape from 3 to 5, up to 7, back to 2. And it's just going to do this over and over again. Until the next section, which is going to be the third chorus. Right at the end, right before the third chorus. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So we've got 4. And then we get into the third chorus. In the third chorus, Rianne's guitar is just going to be playing those big open bar chords. We've got the 3 to 5 setup, 7 and 8, 2 and 3. And then at the very end in the outro, slide up 1 fret, 3 to 4. Let's take a look at Hester's part in the third chorus. We've got that 14-12 little back and forth. That's it 4 times. Right at the end though, it's going to go 14-12, 14-12 on the 3rd string. And then we got that walk down, 14-12, 4th string, 15-12, 5th string, back to 14 on 4, 12 on 4, 15-12, 10, back to 12, 10 on the 4th string, then we're living on that 10-12 range again. And then we're going to bend that 10 up a ways. So we've got that. Next we're going to come down a little bit further, lower on the neck, and we're going to go. So we've got 7, 5 on the 5th string, 5 on the 6th string, 7, 5 on the 5th string, 5 on the 6th string, 7. And then we've got some quarter notes, 6th string, 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 7, 5, 3. 3, 7, 5, 3. And then we've got 7, 5 on the 5th string. And then it's going to take our 7th fret. So we've got 7, 5, 7. We're gonna bend it back to 5. Then we're gonna go down to 3, bend that. 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3. And it's going to end right there on the 5th string, 3rd fret. As it gets into the outro, after we get off that, we're going to go to the 4th string, 7, 9, 7, and then up to 9 on the 3rd string, back to 7, and then end with 3 notes on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. Joshua's part in the 3rd chorus is going to be that D minor with F in the bass. And then we've got this 7th fret shape with the 1st finger over here, so like that C with a G in the bass slid up to the 6th fret really, but the main chords are here on 7 and 8. And then sliding it down with that C and the G in the bass. Going to do that until we get to the outro, and then you'll have that slide up right at the very end. And that's the whole song. Well, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Maybe there is another song or artist you'd like to see me cover. Check out the Patreon for as little as $5 a month. You're going to get a PDF and a Guitar Pro of this song and hundreds more, and I think for this one it's really going to be worth it. Thanks. I'll see you in the next video.